y'all. Welcome to Star Trek in Vegas. I'm Goldie Vegas, and this is my co-host,
Stephen Biggs.
Welcome. Today we have a couple of really exciting guests. Right over here we have Marcus Chin. He is the science officer for the USS Las Vegas Star Trek Fan Club. And we also have Francisco Silva. He is the vice president of the Las Vegas Astronomical Society. So, Stephen, what have you been up to?
Well, I had COVID.
Oh,
So that was fun. Other than that, obviously we've been recording the Geek Shock podcast on a weekly basis. And I've made a couple of trips to California. And
Ooh, fabulous. Did you go to the beach?
No.
No?
I'm not a beach guy. Not anymore.
Did you do anything Trekkie while you were in Cali?
Not so much Trekkie, but I did see the Iron Giant on the big screen.
Oh, nice.
So that was fun.
Cool.
Yeah. Mostly just got in touch with old friends and that type of thing.
Nice.
So, yeah.
That sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Well, I have been working really hard to find a guitar player for my band, Goldie Vegas and the Playboys. And we actually hired somebody last night, so that's super exciting for us. We are playing on Saturday, March 30th, which was actually yesterday, at the Downtown Grand. So was probably a really great show. This is a pre-recorded episode of our podcast today because it is Easter Sunday. So we are taking the day off. But I'm sure my show at the Downtown Grand was fabulous. And our next show is going to be April 6th at the Double Down Saloon. We are hoping to be able to pull off a Joan Jett tribute.
Nice.
A 45-minute Joan Jett tribute for my show, Las Vegas Punk and Rockabilly. We're going to do an all-punk show. So my band is going to open. Then we have Elvis is a punk rocker, and they play Elvis music in the style of punk rock. And we also have a punk rock band closing the show called Trivial Menace. So that is April 6th, Las Vegas Punk and Rockabilly at the Double Down Saloon at 9 p.m. So it should be a good show. I even bought a guitar for my birthday, so I'm hoping I can learn how to play it in 2 weeks and be able to pay tribute to Joan Jett.
Just snap. Yeah.
I mean, how hard can it be? So anyway, Marcus, tell us about your role at the USS Las Vegas.
Well, at the USS Las Vegas, I have been elected, and for some time now, I'm the Chief Science Officer. So at our monthly meetings, which everybody is welcome to attend at Blueberry Hill, I do a science presentation, something kind of related to Trek or something that's a current event in science at the moment or astronomy. I'm basically there to answer some questions, have a lively discussion with our members who are interested in the science aspect of Star Trek and science fiction in general. So, I've been a member of the club for, maybe 8 years now. And
yeah, that's amazing. I mean, I joined that club in 2010.
Yeah, wow.
I haven't been a super active member. Like, I was very active for a year and then kind of pursued other things, and I'm trying to get more active now.
Well, you've been so busy with all your other projects, so
I might be ADHD. I'm not sure. I haven't been diagnosed, but I do a lot of stuff.
Better to keep busy, though, right?
Yeah, and you're somebody who's always very busy, and we were chit-chatting earlier about you used to do some fan films that you have posted on YouTube. Tell us about that.
Well, I mean, fan films is films is a generous term, but I mean, it was a fantastic experience. Everybody who was involved was really gave it their all, put a lot of time into it, and of course, none of us are seasoned or professional performers like yourself. So, I mean, even doing things like remembering lines was very difficult. But that film specifically was put on by the Brandeses at their property, and it was called Quark Space Station. I'm so scared to put this out there on the internet right now, but but it is on YouTube. We have several seasons, and it was a great experience. I've never done anything like that before. Nice. Getting into makeup, getting out of makeup was very difficult. And again, I'm a terrible actor, but...
And so what character do you play?
So I was actually a Romulan spy.
Oh, yeah, interesting.
Which I feel fits me the best, right? Why be a good guy when you can be a villain?
Okay, so what is the name of the YouTube channel if people want to see it?
You can look up Quark Space Station.
Quark's Space Station. Yes. Okay, great.
So the events basically, it takes place after the events of DS9 and and Cork had to move his bar somewhere else, and with the Federation's help, he basically acquired his own space station, and it's some of his misadventures. And
Of
we're
course,
all part of
yeah,
that.
of course
yeah.
he did. Of course he had his own space station. I feel like there's a rule of acquisition in here somewhere that we could refer to.
I think it's 33.
Yeah.
Right?
Of course. Okay, so the USS Las Vegas meets at Blueberry Hill the third Wednesday of every month.
Yes, it does.
Okay, and that's the Blueberry Hill on Flamingo and Decatur.
Yep.
And they start getting there around 4 o'clock.
Well,
but the meeting starts at
Technically,
7?
the meeting starts at 7 is our official start time, but people show up early. They just come in after work. It's fine. Just come hang out. It's in the back room. It's a private room. You'll see our banners up, and just go in, meet the people. Everybody is welcome. We're always looking for new like-minded. You don't have to be specifically a Trekkie, to go to this, because we have a community of people who like sci-fi in general. So the topic, of course, is more Star Trek focused, but we make sure we talk about everything there. So,
Nice. And then, okay, so you are the one who invited Francisco to join us today. How do you two know each other?
Well, I've been attending events with the Astronomical Society for years now. I remember my first event, I just was looking for something to do one night, and I don't know how it came across my feed, but there was a star party, which is something that the Astronomical Society does, which is a fantastic event. They bring out all of their professional, semi-professional telescopes, and it takes place usually in a dark sky part of town. 30 minutes, an hour out.
Yeah, I was about to say, what's a dark sky part of Las Vegas?
Somewhere that's not glowing with the luxury.
Right, I live right
right
by the sphere,
Yeah,
so
so-
my sky is always glowing a little
Yeah,
purple.
you have your own star. So yeah, you have your own star. And yeah, that event was up at Lee Canyon at the ski center. This was so
nice.
many years ago, and it's a fun event. They usually bring out a guest speaker of some sort. One time I was a PhD candidate from UNLV studying Mars, so they have a discussion like that, and then afterwards you kind of just walk around the facility and look through everybody's telescopes. They're all professionals. They all focus on different objects in deep space. If it's visible, clear night permitting. And yeah, it's a fantastic group. They also have a monthly meeting over at the CSN Planetarium,
nice.
which I also attend, which some of our other USS Las Vegas members attend.
Which campus is that at?
It is the Charleston campus, right?
nice.
Sorry, Cheyenne campus.
Cheyenne. Oh,
yes.
okay, that's
And,
interesting.
And they have a beautiful planetarium there, and they give a nice presentation about a different astronomical event or topic that month.
Nice. Okay. Well, tell us a little bit about your role with the Astronomical Society and what events you have coming up.
So my role in the Astronomical Society is outreach education program for the schools, Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts,
Oh, nice.
public libraries, all those things. So we do solar or night vision in the schools. We talk to the kids. We let the kids look through the telescopes. That is the best part, I say.
nice.
Yeah, and also doing, for example, going to Career Day and telling what astronomers does during the daytime, correct? Because
Nice.
most of the astronomers work at nighttime.
Yeah.
So that is my whole role, is organizing all those events inside our society.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Well, I'm a teacher, so
Oh,
if you
feel
want to
free-
do
feel
outreach
free
at my
to-
school,
Totally, just send,
I'm sure my
send
kids
me,
would enjoy
send
it.
me an email.
Okay.
That is all it takes. And so we go to the school, talk about that. And about events, my events are always private. Very few are public because it's for the schools and etc. The association, other members in the association do the public events. But this time, April 8th, I am doing a public event. And it's in the Cheyenne campus, in the College of South Nevada. And it's for the solar eclipse, April 8th. So we got to
Okay.
be there around 8 o'clock in the morning, setting up all the stuff. Everybody's welcome to see it. We got to have 51% of the sun is covered. Please use sunglasses. No much sunglasses does not work.
do you need like special?
Yes.
Okay.
You need a special one. You can order them online. Are running out? Yes. Technically, the public library says you go there with a public library card. They give it for you for free. I don't know. I have not tried. Just letting you know. You can try. And it's beautiful seeing the sun being covered by our natural satellite.
Yeah, I feel like that happened recently.
We have several solar eclipse. What is cool about solar eclipse is totality. That you need to go, for example, to Texas, Idaho. There you go to have 4 minutes and a half of total night in the middle of the day. And I have lived a couple of those and are amazing. Your brain stops working when you can look to the sun with no glasses or nothing, and it's full cover by the moon. Sorry, it's mind blowing. Your mind go out of this planet.
Yeah.
It's a total experience. Now, if you can drive all the way to Texas, like my problem, it's a little big country, and then you have partials, and that is what we got to have here in Vegas.
And
A
you have
partial.
what? What was that?
A partial.
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 Yeah.
Okay.
Exactly. A partial solar eclipse. The moon only go to cover 51% of the sun.
Okay.
So for today's events that are partial, you need special equipment, you need glasses, you need a lot of stuff because the moon will never protect you.
Gotcha.
It's still pretty cool. The light of around your area got to be weird. Your shadow got to be weird. All those things. It's a lot of phenomena going on that going to be
Very
funny
cool.
to stop and look at it.
Okay, so 8 o'clock in the morning.
Start at 8
April
o'clock.
8th.
Yes,
At the Cheyenne campus of CSN.
correct.
And you will have equipment. Like if somebody doesn't have the special glasses,
They
you will
don't
have
need
equipment.
nothing. They
Okay.
just need to come there. It's free parking. Just park in the assigned area and walk to us and say hi.
And that's on
Simple.
a Monday. April 8th is a Monday.
Unfortunately.
Right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I will be on the playground teaching PE. So we'll see
Well,
that.
get ready.
So what you can do, what time is it going to be here?
in
It's,
the morning.
it's
Oh,
from
8
8
o'clock.
to 12.
Oh no, 8 o'clock. Oh, 8 to 12. Okay, what were we gonna say?
There's a quick and dirty way of being able to watch the eclipse with no special equipment. Take a piece of paper, put a pinhole in it, and then you can have the beam of sunlight come through the pinhole, and it will actually show the moon crossing the sun on the shadow.
Yes.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, the last time that we had it.
Technically not a shadow, but I get your
Oh,
point.
yes.
Yeah.
That's right. Yeah, not a shadow.
It's
so
not a shadow,
interesting.
but yes, you're not wrong. You are seeing the phenomena.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, guys, you know what? I want to take a minute to give a shout out. We have a watch party at the Nerd that is located in downtown Las Vegas inside Neonopolis on the corner of Fremont Street and Las Vegas Boulevard. It is on the second floor. So what's up, y'all? Hey, Goldie. Hey, Steven. I think we're going to be up there when this is being shown. So you guys come hang out with us. Or go hang out at the Nerd sometime. I don't know.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah.
I know.
I don't know. I feel like I'm in a little bit of a time warp myself
Yeah,
right
we're
now.
already in a time.
We're having a time travel episode today. So, what we really wanted to talk about today was time travel episodes in Star Trek, and there are so many time travel episodes and so much time travel in the movies,
Yeah.
and the Star Trek movies, and there are so many different ways that they do time travel. So we decided that we wanted to do trivia first because some of the questions will be answered in the discussion. So Marcus, if you want to lead us off with the trivia, we'll see if any of us know the answers. We'll see.
So are we going to answer live or?
Well, you ask us, and if we can
Okay.
answer, we will. Otherwise, you'll have to tell us the answer.
Okay, perfect.
I used to be
perfect.
pretty good at trivia.
No, I'm terrible at trivia.
I've
but-
lost my knowledge. I don't know. I forgot.
I've been using my COVID time to rewatch old episodes. So
Oh,
let's see.
nice.
Yeah,
Okay.
So you're prepared. So you're going to win this. Okay. Well, these trivia questions were presented by USS Las Vegas's, our trivia master. Our ship's counselor. His name is Charles Parker. And if you come to our meetings on Wednesday, there's always a trivia section, and he asks great questions, which he spends a lot of time researching. And these always stump me. So here we go. The first one. In the city of the Edge of Forever, what 1930s city did they travel to?
Oh, I think I know this one. You go first.
No, it's not an obvious one, right?
That's pretty obvious.
Okay, New York.
Yes, it is New York.
Oh, I was going to
Yes.
say Chicago.
I thought Chicago too, but it
Okay,
was
so New York is the
yes.
answer. Okay. And that episode has Joan Collins.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty interesting. There's been a lot of people in Star Trek.
Yeah, one of the fun parts about working at the experience is I actually got there before we opened, and they were still setting up the History of the Future Museum.
Oh, nice.
And as we're going by, they actually the woman whose name I forget. Oh God, it's going to kill me. I'll yell it out in the middle of the podcast because that's of course what. It's
Yeah,
gonna
the
come
minute
to.
you stop thinking about it,
Yeah.
you'll remember.
And she was unpacking this, crocheted beret thing, and the thing had, Edith Keeler's, beret, and I was like, yeah, they probably got that at, 5 and under or something. And she looked back and she goes, and it was like Western costume, Jay Collins, blah blah. I was like, oh well. Never mind.
So, if you are new to the podcast, Stephen was a Klingon at Star Trek: The Experience, which was in Las Vegas it was here for like 10 years.
10 years, yeah.
And then I moved here 2 months after it closed.
So you never got a chance to see the experience?
I went a few times.
Okay, yeah.
Because in 2005, I was affected by Hurricane Katrina, and I ended up taking a job in Sedona, Arizona, which is about 5 hours from Vegas. And so I did come here and go to the experience in August of 2006. And it just happened to be the Star Trek convention, and that was my first Star Trek convention.
Oh, that's
Perfect.
fantastic. Yeah.
Okay, what's your next question?
Okay, next question from Charles is, what next generation episode did we have 2 USS Enterprises?
Ooh.
TNG.
Oh.
I don't know.
I know it, but I don't know it. But it was the Enterprise C, right?
Yes, it was the Enterprise.
Oh,
was-
yeah, this is familiar.
It was.
I feel like I just saw this episode, too.
Oh yeah, because it's a famous one.
That's a great episode.
It's going to come to me. I blame COVID.
Yeah.
It's going to come to me,
I don't
in
know.
the middle of the podcast, or when you say it, actually.
Well, I mean, yes, you will remember
Well,
this.
yesterday's Enterprise.
Yes, there you go.
Oh!
Just in the nick of time.
Yes.
Good job.
Yeah,
Thank
that
you.
was a fantastic episode. That's probably my favorite TNG episode.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
It's really fun because
There's a lot of good ones.
Yeah. Because it really kind of, so far as the Star Trek universe goes, that and Mirror Mirror kind of set up a Star Trek multiverse.
Yes, yeah, definitely. And it's cool too. I don't know. I'm a big fan of the ship, so it's kind of cool to see the predecessor to the Enterprise D
Yeah.
there. And we get to see Tasha Yar again in that episode.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking about cutting my hair like Tasha Yar for the Star Trek convention, but when I showed my boyfriend the picture, he was like,
Yeah, that's always a rule, right? Never cut your hair, right?
well, I was like, I'm trying to decide if I should grow it out long or if I should cut it like this. And he's like,
I don't know. Tasha Yar is a badass. Maybe you should.
She
show
is a
some
badass.
episodes, yeah.
There's one episode that they curled it, and it was like super cool, but then I guess it wasn't like militaristic or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
They never did it again,
Yeah.
but that's okay.
Funny.
Okay, next question.
All right, next question. This is a DS9 one for all you Deep Space Nine fans. In DS9 past tense, several crew members experience what historical event?
Oh, this one's easy. The
Is
Bell Riots.
Yeah.
Absolutely. How is that one easy?
Because it takes place this year.
It takes place. Oh, that's one of my trivia questions.
Yep.
That's when do the Bell Riots occur?
Yeah.
Y'all know?
It's 2024.
But what month?
Oh, I don't know.
July.
The first week of September. So they're coming up, the Bell Riots.
All right.
Be
They're
prepared.
coming up.
So if
Be
you're
prepared.
in San Francisco,
The first week of September 2024.
It's okay. Cisco will be here to save us.
Thank
That's
goodness.
right.
Yeah.
No, or to totally mess everything up. Okay, what's next?
Okay, next one. Which crew member's picture appears in the history books at the end of past tense?
Cisco.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Cisco. Yep. Gabrielle Bell.
Why do you send us these easy questions?
Well, I'm sure they're not easy for everybody.
that's true.
Yeah, well, you probably don't know the answer to any of them.
So far,
He's a Stargate person, which we can definitely talk about Stargate. I love Stargate.
Okay, this next one from Voyager, all Voyager fans out there. In Voyager's Endgame, who changes the timeline?
Okay, Endgame. Hold on, let me think for a second. Endgame. Captain Janeway.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah,
Janeway
look,
does.
I got her on my shirt today.
Yep.
Yeah, representing.
Bum, 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 bum. Okay.
Bum.
Kate Mulgrew would be proud.
But
All
with
right.
Captain Janeway.
Last question. In Picard Season 2, for all you recent
Oh,
Trekkies,
okay.
they first traveled to 2401. Then what time period?
Oh my gosh. I just watched the series finale this week, but I have no idea the answer to that question.
I mean, you should know this one.
Isn't it? It's the modern day.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah,
the
contemporary.
to the Bell riots in 2024.
Oh,
Yep.
okay. I gotta go back and watch that.
Yeah.
That's in Picard season 2.
Mm-hmm. It is. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's so much Star Trek. I need to go back and rewatch.
I know. We're
It's
living.
like I have such a bad memory every time I watch Star Trek. It's like it's new.
Well, it's a renaissance right now, right? There was a time period where we didn't have Star Trek on TV for like 10 years.
Yeah.
And now we have, three different
It's like
shows
it's
out
the
there.
90s all over again.
Exactly.
What else do you have? You got anything else?
Nope. Those are all of Charles's questions. Let's hear some of yours.
Okay. So in Star Trek Voyager Endgame, what device does Captain Janeway use to travel back in time?
Oh goodness. Device.
It's not just a wormhole. It's
No, it's a device
yeah,
that she jacks from some Klingons.
yeah.
She steals it from Captain Janeway is such a badass.
Well, she gets it from Korath.
Yes.
Yeah. Who again was our main Klingon villain at Star Trek: The Experience.
Okay, the chrono deflector is
Oh.
the name of the device.
Yeah.
Okay, in Little Green Men, a Deep Space Nine episode, how did Quark end up going back in time?
Making a jump.
Making a jump.
Making a jump, exactly.
No.
It was a neutron star, right?
No.
They was it something went wrong with the reactor and the ship?
Something went wrong with the ship because
As always.
it was sabotaged by Quark's cousin.
Oh, right. It was
And they were carrying a supply of chemocytes.
yeah. And it was
And so they decided to vent the chemocyte through the exhaust. They vented warp exhaust through the chemocyte, and that triggered a time travel
Yeah.
anomaly.
yeah. Yes.
That-
And then, of
That's it.
course, like Quark, and like what year did they go back to? Like
1947.
1947. Okay,
It was
Quark in
supposedly
1947. He's like,
Roswell.
oh yeah, okay, that makes sense. And he's just like, that's like Quark in a candy store. He's like, oh, we are here on behalf of the Ferengi Alliance, and we're here to help you. Give us all of
You show up. We can suspect that they were just accidental time travelers, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
In the Next Generation episode Time's Arrow, how was the time travel? How were they time traveling in that episode?
That was a spatial anomaly, right?
That there was some aliens using
Yeah.
triolic energy.
Yes.
Or like my questions are usually really easy, so I was trying to make them hard because your questions are
Because
usually
mine
really
are
hard.
always like evil.
Okay, I have one more. Okay. Can anyone tell me what the very first episode of Star Trek that was written by a woman? The first episode written by a woman in Star Trek. Do you know which? It was a time travel episode.
Oh, was it Yesterday is Tomorrow?
Tomorrow is
Tomorrow's
yesterday.
yesterday. No. Yeah.
Dorothy Fontana.
Fontana. Yeah.
And that was episode 19. She wrote another episode, but Gene Roddenberry was credited for that episode. I can't remember what that was.
Oh, that happened all the time, sadly.
Okay.
Because she was merely a secretary.
Oh my goodness. Merely. Well, that's all women could be, right?
Yeah, it was the 60s.
Okay, what are your questions? Let's see if any of us can get your questions.
All right, I just have two.
Okay.
And the first one is, it's technically it is a time travel episode, but let's see, how was I going to put it? Who does the crew of the original series Enterprise meet when they go back in time to witness the first moonshot?
The first moonshot.
Yeah.
What, the first launch of a warp drive
No.
vehicle? A moonshot? Okay, I
Yeah.
don't know what this one is.
Going to the moon.
Going to the moon.
Yeah. The Apollo missions.
Apollo mission, yeah.
Do you know the answer?
I'm gonna guess Neil Armstrong.
Nope.
Nope. There you go.
No, it was. Here's your hint. It was a backdoor pilot for a potential new series, which I think they should bring back. Frankly,
He
in
really
our
does ask hard
renaissance,
questions.
in our renaissance of Star Trek, I think they should bring this idea back.
I have no idea. I forgot the question. Like,
Oh,
I don't even know what's going on.
What character did the crew of the original series Enterprise meet?
Oh, when they go back into
When
the
they
moonshot.
go-
Okay, no clue. I have no idea.
Gary Seven.
Gary 7. Okay, that sounds familiar.
Yeah.
Gary
It
7.
was Assignment Earth, and that was going to be the series, Assignment Earth. Gary Seven was a human who'd been, I guess, abducted by aliens, genetically modified a little bit, and sent back in time as an observer to keep Earth on track.
Oh, okay,
to-
that sounds
yeah.
familiar.
Yeah.
We have a secret agenda here.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, what's your next question?
What actor played Captain Bateson in the Next Gen episode Cause and Effect? Which again, Captain Bateson and his crew were stuck in some kind of a time
Loop.
Yeah.
I know that part, but I don't remember the name.
Oh my goodness. Okay. no clue. Sorry.
Here's your hint. He might have been from either Boston or Seattle.
Those are two
Oh,
different.
Frasier.
Yeah.
What's his name? Kelsey Grammer.
Kelsey Grammer. Yeah.
Thank you.
Nice. He really does ask hard questions.
I know,
Yeah.
right? I mean, my questions I feel like were really hard today. Okay, would you want to quiz us on astronomy?
I have to. Let's go.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, why not? So my first question will be one easy. What is the closest star to planet Earth?
Oh, this is a trick question, and I know.
No. It's only one closest star to planet Earth.
Yeah.
Well, that would be our sun.
Yeah.
Good. You will be surprised. You will be surprised how many people felt that one.
People would be like Alpha Centauri.
That is the second closest to Earth.
Now, is it Alpha Centauri or Proxima Centauri?
Proxima Centauri is the closest with 4 point something light years.
Yeah.
And then the next question: who come up with the name antimatter? Science or science fiction?
Science
Oh.
fiction.
I'm going to say actual science. Because I think then science fiction writers went, what? What is this thing that we can use for stuff?
Well, I know. Well, there's some antimatter in everybody's bananas, right? So I'm gonna say maybe the scientists, having breakfast.
Scientists.
Oh, I'm all science fiction.
Yeah, it sounds science fiction, but no, we're scientists.
Nice. Well done. You got anything else?
No,
That's it? Okay.
those two.
Actually, I was going to ask you,
Ooh.
only because it's Star Trek related, what is the significance of the star Wolf 359? Like what makes it special? What makes it? It has nothing to do with Star Trek, but just
No
the star
idea.
itself. Okay.
Sorry, I have no idea.
I thought you might know.
I will
I don't
Google
know.
it.
We'll never
I
know.
will-
We'll never know.
I will Google it and let you know later.
Perfect. Perfect.
Well, I mean, it is significant in Star Trek,
It's
right?
very
That time.
significant
Yeah,
in Star
Battle
Trek.
of Wolf 359.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we had a space station out there, huh? Right?
With a big battle with the Borg that almost
Yeah,
wiped
yeah.
out the
Well,
fleet.
yeah, duh.
And killed Cisco's wife. And,
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We saw some great shots of the
Everybody in
Enterprise
Starfleet
there.
has PTSD from that day.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So some of the episodes that I have been rewatching include City on the Edge of Forever.
Yeah, it's a classic.
There's a lot of portals, a lot of time travel portals in Star Trek. So City on the Edge of Forever was one where I guess Dr. McCoy is under the influence of some kind of drug, or he's got a virus or something.
Yeah, that's right. He accidentally injected himself.
Oh, he accidentally injects himself with a drug, and then he transports down to this planet and jumps into a time portal.
Yeah.
And they land in New York City in
30-something.
Yeah, and meet Joan Collins. Okay, so then there is also another time portal in All Our Yesterdays, which is where like they're trying to help save this planet. The star's going to collapse or something like that.
Yeah.
So they go down to try to save everybody, but the only person left is the librarian. And he's basically just sending people back in time, like, pick the time you want to go to, and then they'll just send them back in time. And Spock and McCoy end up in like the Ice Age.
Yeah.
And that's where they send like prisoners or something.
Yeah.
But like that was a time portal. Is that a real thing? Time portals? You think just time portals around the universe that we could just jump into?
I will go with. We have make a big jump here. We should go back for, is time travel possible? Let's start in there.
Yeah. Well, let's start from the beginning.
I think that will. Let's begin from the beginning, okay? So time travel, according to physics, is totally possible. There's nothing is stopping us. We are forced to live in this time arrow system. That is how science said, and we need to go from now to the future. But in the moment that you go to physics go and say, we don't care. What are you talking about? That is a problem of humans. That is not my problem. So time travel, going to the future, Einstein has given us several techniques to do it. And portals are funny in science fiction. It's not impossible. That will be my answer. You need to send the portal to the future, and then when they open in the future, you will open here, and then you can jump. And that is
kind of like Stargate. You were saying that you're more into Stargate.
Yeah, something similar.
And there's Stargates all over the universe.
Yeah, those are more for travel than time travel. Stargates is for travel.
Oh, travel, you're right. Yeah,
Yeah, it's totally different. Okay. They know play with some here and there play with time travel, but reality is just travel big distance in the cosmos instantly.
Oh man, would
that
be
is
nice?
a Star Trek. That will be amazing. I will my bust.
Right.
That is the job, people. So the point here is that jumping through portals is that you have built a portal in the future and one in the past, or you have taken the one in the past to the future, and those are always timed at the same time. So jumping between them is totally possible.
Oh, interesting.
Physically, we are in the probability of physics, okay?
Yeah.
So that is the idea behind portals. Now, the best way to do it is with a wormhole. That will be the best down go. Now, how you keep that energy? From where you bring
first
that
of all,
energy?
what is a wormhole? It's just
Two places in the universe that are connected with a lot of energy in between. Apparently, they last just seconds.
Oh, really?
Probably. Yeah. Let's go in that direction, okay? This is astrophysics next level.
Yeah.
Okay?
Right, because this is one of those things that's hypothetical. If they do exist, they last for a second, and we've never actually observed one.
Until now.
Oh, really?
Oh.
Well, you know, maybe in 5 minutes from now, there is someone observing.
Oh, we don't know.
Until this moment had not been observed.
Oh, that's
I mean,
true.
5 minutes from now, I don't know. I have no travel to the future yet.
That's right. In the week since we record till when the show's, who knows?
Exactly.
Right, yeah. Yeah.
Is anyone remember 2017 summer during the last great American eclipse? All the astronomers was knowing a top secret information that no one was shared except between astronomers. We have detected gravitational wave. So during that time, during that week, everybody knew we had detected them, but we cannot talk about it.
Oh, right,
but technically are real. You know, it's the same thing here. We don't know. Let's wait for the future. So wormholes, that is one of the options. Another way to time travel is sit down near the edge of black holes.
Mm-hmm.
That is more Einstein physics, more realistic. Space expands, saying your time is longer there than is in reality, etc.
And
is another name for a black hole a high gravity black star?
That was back in the days.
That's what what they used to call it.
Tomorrow is yesterday in the original series back in the 60s.
They was playing with that.
That is
Black
how
stars.
they traveled back in time.
But the idea is what today will be a black hole.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yes. In the 60s, we thought, the general thought was black stars.
Yeah, we were talking a little bit about wormholes. There is an episode of Star Trek Voyager that they find a wormhole. It's called Eye of the Needle. And they find a wormhole, but it's very small, and all they can do is communicate through. And so they're like, they're stranded in the Delta Quadrant. It's going to take them 80 years to get home or something like that. So they're all very excited. Everybody sends a message home to their family, and then they realize that they are conversing with someone in the past.
Right.
Yeah,
well,
you remember
technically
that?
you are in the future.
Yeah, like they're in the future, and
Exactly.
they find a wormhole of somebody in the past.
Exactly.
So they're able to communicate, their predicament to their families because they're stranded in another quadrant of the universe. But that's a good example of what you're talking about in Star Trek.
Well, do you think, Francisco, that would be possible, where a wormhole not only connects 2 points in space, but it could be in two points in time, right? So,
according to physics, it's not that impossible. That will be impossible. The answer. Yeah. We are talking here in a dimension of time that we don't understand yet time. So, time, gravity, and space are all interconnected.
Yes.
But we cannot see them work in a beautiful harmony. Okay, yes. You have, for example, electromagnetics now. Yeah, but that is magnetism of before and electricity of before. Okay, then we discover it's all the same thing. It's electromagnetics. We don't have the perfect answer to understand space, time, and gravity.
Right.
Because gravity is a nightmare, and travel to space time is telling us that gravity plays an important role in that section.
Exactly.
But what is gravity? No idea.
No,
and the
right.
same thing as with what is time. If I ask you what is time specifically, you cannot answer it.
Right.
Right, because that's where you start getting into, where it starts going into metaphysics and stuff. If we start talking about, is there free will, or are we just meat puppets and stuff? Because if all time exists at the same time and we're just perceiving it forward, then everything that we will ever do is already predetermined.
Exactly.
So then what
yes
choice?
And no. It will be predetermined if I am the being outside time making you do things to follow that timeline. It will be predetermined if you see it from the end, but not from the beginning.
Right.
In the beginning, nothing is yet happened. Do you see the point? So it's not predetermined. Predetermined is I am the guy outside the timeline making you follow that line time I want you to follow. There, I will be playing with your free will.
Right.
But not because the time is there already. You
Right.
don't have free will. You still have your free will.
Yeah.
The problem is you have not figured out the answers what mean time for you yet.
Well, right. But if all time exists at the same time, then all those decisions have been made, which brings up one of the solutions to that is the multiverse. Because then all of your decisions...
That is not a solution. That is a problem. That is not a solution. That is a problem. You are not having there a solution. Well, guys, let's make a clear thing. We got to have a multiple problem solution. No. That is a totally different aspect of the problem.
Well, right, because it was just recently, I'm also a science geek too, because there was an article where they were saying, there's a misconception about what the many worlds idea of quantum physics is.
Totally.
And a lot of people think, well, that means it's the multiverse. And it's like, where every decision you make creates a new universe.
Right. Yeah.
And then multiply that by 7 billion people on Earth, multiplied by however many other decisions get made by sentient creatures throughout the universe, and it just becomes a mess.
Yes.
It's not a simple solution.
It's not a simple
It
solution.
also becomes a
And
mess.
you are always thinking of humans now.
Right.
But humans has existed long enough to have a
Right.
multiverse where Roman empires is still a thing and have conquer Mars. Okay?
Yeah.
That is the point.
Yeah. And then go back to, any creature that can actually make a decision,
Exactly.
Like, single-celled creatures make decisions.
Yes.
Multiply that by however many single-celled creatures there are.
Yeah,
and then it just becomes a mess.
And how do you divide the timeline? Is it every second? Is it every nanosecond?
Right.
Every minute?
And again, do
So-
they form and then collapse and form and then collapse? Yeah.
I don't think there's enough energy in the universe for that. but-
Right.
So is
But
this
if
the kind
there
of stuff you're going
were-
to talk about on your podcast, Marcus?
I have no idea yet. But we'll see. We'll see. But I mean, in terms of multiverses, it's also a huge problem when you're talking about Star Trek canon as well. So
Yeah,
you've
yeah.
got this Kelvin timeline, you've got the Prime timeline. That's the I don't know.
You got the
Personally,
mirror universe.
Exactly. I think time travel could be very problematic or I don't know. Maybe it's great for the writers who can come up with new material all the time.
And
right?
and that's exactly what time travel has kind of always been.
A writing tool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
A what if thing.
Yes.
Well,
what
Star
if
Trek
the Nazis
Enterprise
won?
starts with the temporal Cold War.
Yes,
Right.
Yes. Yeah.
Which again, I think they very nicely used in Strange New Worlds to explain why didn't we have that World War III back in 1996?
Because
What-
I'm one stop from the future.
Yeah, because the temporal Cold War messed with the timeline, and so Khan is just a young kid now.
Yes. Okay. It's a lot. It's a
Yeah.
lot. There's so much time travel in Star Trek. So in Endgame, which is a Voyager episode, Year of Hell, they use a chronoton torpedo. What is a chronoton torpedo? Does anybody know what that is?
It's a torpedo with chronotons.
What's a
Yeah.
chronoton? What is
Well,
a chronoton?
actually, yeah,
is that a
Francisco.
thing?
So it's that's a theoretical thing, right? Actual chronotons being particles of time. Is there any sort of
The idea
science?
is time you can measure it somehow and make it work. Chronoton will be one of those ideas.
Yeah.
But I have a funny question here. No scientifics. Where come the word chrome? Chronomics, chrome, all that is coming from Greek mythology. The father of time is Chronos.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And now you have a very funny question here, okay? What Zeus does to liberate his siblings from Kronos' stomach?
Oh. I just
Make him drink a drink that make him throw up
yeah.
all his siblings. And according to Greek mythology, Artemis is one. No, Artemis, no, sorry. I forget the name. One of the goddess is the oldest and the youngest because was the first one eaten by Kronos, but the last one that he rejected out. So if you want to go cuckoo here, the Greeks already was playing with time travel. The only way the gods of Olympus have all his power is because they are outside timeline, outside Kronos.
Wow.
Oh, interesting.
That's
Yeah, because if you was inside Kronos, you will be a slave for time.
crazy. Interesting.
So Zeus and all the goddesses of the Olympics, they are outside time, playing with timeline, playing with the timeline. That is why they can do anything they want. Can break all the laws of physics because it's not physics for them. They are outside the time. They are outside Kronos.
Well, I mean, that's
And Kronos
wow.
is one of the titans
Yeah,
of
because-
the planet.
Oh my
Yes.
goodness.
That,
That's a
that is
lot.
going cuckoo there for
Yeah,
a
oh,
second,
yeah.
but yes, that is the first trying to play with the idea of how to write a history about time, people.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, we tend to think of time travel as like a modern, concept, a
No.
modern scientific concept. But yeah, I've never even thought to consider when the first kind of stories or ideas of time travel were around in the human consciousness.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So I'm going to ask the question that I think all Trekkies want to know is, can you travel back in time by slingshotting around the sun?
By that means, I say no.
But you can travel forward in time, right? Because because like time, it's like you're not growing old, but we're growing older. So
Right.
what is that?
Time out. So
Okay.
it's more complex
time
than that. It's more complex than that. So you have Einstein is telling us this is you have a twin and travel 50 years in the speed of light, or at least 99% of the speed of light,
Okay.
and you go around trip and come back to Earth. You twin that stay in Earth is a grandfather. Okay, for you has been 20 years. For Earth has been 80. Give it time there, very relative. Okay, that is what Einstein theory is trying to explain to us. Because Einstein said time is subject to the observer, time is not real. If you want to go cuckoo here, Einstein is telling us time is not real. It's according to the observer, time has meaning. Without an observer, time has no meaning. That is what Einstein is trying to say to us. So that is why he say, if you go at the speed of light, you person that stay here is observing time in a totally different spectrum than you. So when you come back, you are young, but you are not younger. You have spent 25 years.
Yeah.
Okay, you have lost 25 years of your time traveling.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is what the theory of relativity is trying to tell us how to travel in that way. So every movie that play with that idea is playing really wrong.
I mean,
Most of
that's
it.
happened in Star Trek a lot, where they slingshot around the sun,
Yeah, that,
right?
that's their
Star Trek 4.
Yeah, that's
Star
their
Trek
chosen.
4, they go back in time, then they go forward in time, and that's how they did it. There were some other episodes and stuff where that's how they did it. They just slingshot around the sun.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah, it would be very useful. It's like having a mulligan for life, right?
Right?
Yeah. Oh, I screwed that up. Let's
Let's
just go
just
back
go
and
slingshot around the
let's-
sun real
yeah,
quick.
Let's take
Yeah,
care
yeah.
of it real quick. Yeah.
I really recommend to read Time Travel, the book. Really, movie is good, but it's not as good as the book. And they are playing with a totally different concept of time travel. They are playing that you can go forward and back, but you are getting old because your time is still ticking to you. So time will be something that you take with you. Okay, your days will be still 24 hours. Let's go like that. Even though it's a jump 30 years into the future, my time, 30 minutes, 30 hours, 30 days, will be my real time, 30 minutes. I will get all as that, no? But in the book Time Travel, the Time Machine, sorry, it can go back and forward in time. They don't say how, unfortunately, but the idea that you can go back in time, besides having the grandfather paradox, and they say, well, if you go back in time and kill your father, etc. My question is, no, kill your grandfather, okay? That's it, problem solved.
Well, it might happen by accident. We were talking about the episode Past Tense in Star Trek Deep Space Nine, where there is a transporter accident, of course, and because of Captain Sisko and Dr. Bashir, an historic figure,
Gabriel
Bell, is killed, and so now Sisko has to be Gabriel Bell.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, well, I'll just step up to the plate. Like, they're not supposed to mess with anything. They're having an argument in the street that it's like, no, we can't do anything. We don't want to mess with anything. And then all of a sudden, they cause the murder of this historic figure.
Well,
That is funny.
well, I mean, later in Voyager, right? The time police show up. There's what is it? The time department.
Oh yeah, it's Dulmer and Luxley from the. Oh God, I used to know this because I thought that would be, again, another great,
Yes.
great idea for another possible Star Trek related TV show. The something Institute. Can't remember. I'll remember and then yell it out in the middle of the.
Well, yeah,
podcast.
they have their own ship, and they basically go around and they tell people off like, oh, Janeway, you've traveled in time too much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're-
I remember that.
Yeah. And then they're like, Kirk, the worst.
Yes.
Well, and then in Disco, Burnham travels so far in the future, everything has been completely destroyed.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Well, I mean, speaking to that point too, I mean, in terms of time travel to the future, I mean, we basically, because time is a relative concept, that's something which we actually can observe and experience, right, Francisco? Right?
I'm pretty sure we can.
Yeah,
we don't have yet figured out how.
But I mean, in terms of that dilation, right? Because the flow of time is affected by gravity and velocity, right?
Mm-hmm.
So an famous example, right, is the astronauts on the space station.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a couple of seconds younger.
Exactly. So when they come back to Earth, because they're flying at such a high velocity relative to us, when they come back, their watches technically have ticked a couple seconds less than our watches here on
Yeah.
Earth. And this is a phenomenon also used by GPS, right?
Yes.
They use the time dilation between the signals from different satellites
That's
to
right.
let your phone know how far away you are from the satellite, because
Wow.
the clock is a bit off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
we
we do
measure the
experience
off of the clock.
Yes, exactly. We do experience time travel.
Yeah.
To me,
So
that
the
time travel problem of how we are trying to visualize it is where is the mistake. My answer will be, let's try to explain to a first level dimension how we cross the door. For them, we crossing the door is a miracle. It's what are you doing? How you do that? First, beings in the first dimension will never understand how we humans can cross a door, or how we can go down a highway, or how can we fly in an airplane. That is totally magical. It's another totally crazy. But for us, it's the most normal thing to do because we are three beings of the third dimension. So is the time is another dimension. The only problem we are having here is we are restricted for our reality in our dimension, not letting us understand how the fourth dimension will work. Then it will be time. Time is the fourth dimension, it will be time.
Right.
And then crossing through time, it will be as easy as crossing through that door for us. You just jump in any time frame that you want.
Wow.
Yeah.
The problem is we are in the fourth dimension, in the third dimension, and we cannot do that.
We can't see that fourth dimension.
Yes.
Technically, but if I asked you what you was doing 1 week ago, you can remember.
Yeah.
I
You
would have
can
to check my
remember.
calendar.
Probably.
I won't remember. Yeah, I won't.
But
Wait,
my
last
point is-
Sunday was St. Patty's Day, so I was on Fremont Street.
you definitely
in
don't
a
remember.
Lucky Bear Care Bear costume. That's what I was
Okay.
doing.
But
Had ears and everything. It was real cute.
My point here is that our brains can work in the fourth dimension time. You can plan for the future. You can remember the past. And part of the human society has been so focused in remember the past that we have very good memorization system. But that technically is traveling back in time. Our brain reveal those memories over and over. And you can start playing with your memory and make things that was not happening
Right.
because you remember it too many times. Then your brain start filling it holes with fake information.
Yes.
That technically is time travel. Our brain is working in the fourth dimension. Our brain can remember the future, work for the future, and remember the past. So that the only difference is moving our third being bodies through that same phenomena. That will be amazing.
Yeah.
I think that is where we are getting lost in physics.
What about astral projection? Is that like moving into another dimension, or is that even a thing?
I have never done it, so I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
My
That's,
answer to you is there? Is this possible? It will be really fun. That will be my answer.
Yeah.
yeah.
But I cannot do it yet.
And you'd be Star Trekking across the multiverse.
Yeah.
Well, have you ever astral projected?
No.
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 Yeah. There's.
How about you? Have you astral projected?
Oh, no, I mean, it was probably like a bad dream or something, but I don't
Yeah.
think it was astral projection.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, where the hell am I?
Oh boy. Speaking of bad dreams, man, COVID. Yikes.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, I had. Okay, so there's a dream called the actor's nightmare, where you show up in a show, and they throw you out on stage, and you have no idea what show you're in, or what your lines are, or what character you're playing, and everything. I had a dream where, thankfully, it wasn't the actual night of the performance, but I was in rehearsal for 2 shows, both of them Shakespeare. Not quite sure which roles I was playing, but they were both characters that were in their 20s. I'm not in my 20s. And I had no idea what my lines were. It was off book day, which is where you're supposed to have all your lines memorized. It was off book day. I knew none of my lines for either show, nor did I have my script handy at all.
Wow.
Yeah, that was fun.
Yeah.
And that was a dream you had.
And that was a dream that I woke myself up from, because I'm like, I'll take being chased by zombies and velociraptors and that any day over that nightmare.
Yeah,
Oh my goodness.
yeah. Embarrassment is a powerful one.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, so yeah, there's it's so much time travel in Star Trek that when I had the idea to do a time travel show, I guess I hadn't really thought about how much time travel there really is in Star Trek. So like we could possibly in the future or maybe the past have another episode about time travel.
And now coming in the door and say, hey, you forget about this question.
Yes. So you had talked about earlier that you are a Stargate fan.
Mm-hmm.
I too enjoy Stargate. I thought Stargate was a really great
It's really fun.
series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a really fun series.
Yeah.
Flying that way through the universe, I will love it.
Do you think they'll have any reboots?
I don't think so.
Probably
unfortunately.
not.
There has been the longest TV show constantly in TV about sci-fi, so that is amazing. One of the longest continuous TV show.
Gotcha. Well, yeah, Stargate SG-1 was a 10-year series.
And then come New Atlantis or something like that.
Atlantis.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah.
And all start with a funny movie.
Yeah, right? That was a great movie. James Spader and Kurt Russell, right?
Yeah.
So Marcus and I went last Friday to see the new William Shatner movie, You Can Call Me Bill.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it was.
He has lived such an amazing life. And, a lot of who he is also who Captain Kirk is. Because in the movie, he talks a lot about how he played the character, he's an explorer. So he's always in awe and curious of what's coming next. And you really get that from William Shatner.
Oh, definitely.
He's always, at the conventions, he's always going on about, the universe and physics or whatever. Like, he's just going on and on about, like, new stuff that he's learned. And then, he talked about going up in the SpaceX shuttle and how profound it was for him. And
I think was the Galactic.
Yeah, Blue Origin.
Oh, Blue Origin. My bad.
Blue Origin. Yes,
Blue Origin.
Yes, that one.
Yeah, that's amazing. Like, what an amazing life. And it just started because he was an actor.
Well, I mean, he was Captain Kirk.
He was Captain Kirk. Exactly, he was Captain Kirk. But, like, just what an amazing journey he's had.
Yeah.
Well,
William
definitely.
Shatner.
I mean, and I think at at his age, with all of his life experiences, and him being in great shape too for his age, and still
93, he turned 93. The movie was released on his birthday.
Yeah.
And he turned 93.
Wow.
Yeah, he's still riding
93,
horses
yeah,
and
he's-
everything. So
yeah.
I mean, but I think
Maybe he traveled time.
Yeah, maybe exactly. He stole something from the Klingons too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah. I remember the Star Trek convention in 2009, I want to say, because it was the convention that the first Abrams movie came out. And he was giving Nimoy a hard time about doing a cameo and all this kind of stuff. He goes, I don't do cameos. Bah. And he goes, but here's Leonard over here. It's like JJ. It's like, Leonard be in my show. And it's like, okay, I'll do it. And then he was giving him a hard time. And then he got up and he was walking around because, of course, the guy, like you say, he's full of energy. And so, yeah, he must have been like 79 at the time. And all of a sudden, he just whips out a high kick. And I was like, all right, Bill. That's like, I can't do a high kick. Here's a 79-year-old man doing a
He's amazing.
like up over his head high kick. And I was like, all right.
Yeah.
And it was so interesting to me. He also talked about, the movie was divided up into chapters. Mm-hmm. And one of the chapters was about loneliness. He feels like this profound loneliness, even though, he has this family and fans, but he still, struggles with that. I found that so interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think, maybe that could be... I was talking to somebody about it after we watched that movie, and it could be his kind of fear of death, right? I think that whole concept that, he mentioned during the movie that, birth and death are such lonely concepts. You come into this world alone and you leave alone. And I guess that's one way of looking at it, but maybe it's because he's lived such a full life, had such unique experiences that, does he have peers, right? Like, does he really, can he really share these sorts of things, on a more intimate level with people? I don't know. Maybe I think he's just scared of dying, which I think anybody would be, right?
Yeah.
Especially if you lived a life like that.
Yeah.
Well, and I don't have kids. I'm a teacher. I have about 850 students. But I always think about, like I said, I'm not a mother, so I don't know for sure. But I feel like sometimes I imagine being a mother's probably pretty lonely because you have this child for 18 years and then they go off and leave you behind. And then you're just
sometimes they hang around, right?
It's like, it was just like,
Living
I don't
in
know
your
why
basement?
that's,
Exactly.
I just feel like of all the people, William Shatner, to put that in his movie that he's so lonely. I just thought that was so interesting.
Yeah, I haven't seen the movie, but what I find interesting about that is that he basically had open himself up to being vulnerable enough to express that.
Yeah.
So I think I don't know about
Yeah,
anyone
I
else,
mean-
and I think we've all had those feelings at one time or another.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And, where it's like you can be surrounded by friends, you can be surrounded by people, and just feel so incredibly alone.
Absolutely.
I know a lot of Olympics athletes that say the same. It's nothing more lonely than a huge stadium saying you can do it.
Yeah.
That is how they describe it. The Olympics describe it. It's
Really?
nothing more lonely than a huge stadium saying you can do it.
That's so
Because
interesting.
you feel like as you fall from the goal that people have set for you, those
Yeah.
people will stop supporting you. And
Yeah.
that is another moment of loneliness. And then you say, well, you are here supporting me, say yes, success. What will happen is I fail.
Right.
That is another thing.
And also because those people don't really know you.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly, and this is another part. Is you are a little more in the philosophical department, etc., and you start in a bar going and say, "Do you know what I think about? What about is the life of an ant? The person, the friends in the bar go probably listen to you 5 minutes. At the same will be, why we are talking about ants again? Do you see
Yeah.
my point? So that is another moment of loneliness. That your brain is thinking in something that no other person is scared to share with you, or
Yeah.
you share with them.
Yeah.
No matter how much they love you, they will not follow you down that rabbit hole.
Yeah.
And
it-
that can give you feeling of loneliness. I know discussion.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Well, obviously we have experience going to Star Trek conventions and stuff. And
We
and-
do? Us?
Yeah, I know. I think, right?
A couple times.
And so I'm on a couple of Facebook pages where every now and then you get somebody saying, "Hey, I'm new to the page, blah, blah, blah. I'm thinking about going to my very first Star Trek convention, but I don't really know anyone else that wants to go," and blah, blah, blah. Well,
That is
should I
interesting.
go? And they're like, "Yeah, come on, just walk up to people. We're very accessible." That's true to a certain extent.
Yeah.
And so yes, that is, by all means, don't let the fact that you don't know anyone stop you from doing it. I mean, I do. I'm a talkative introvert.
Yeah, well, you also know a lot of people there, so it is very intimidating to go and not know anyone. When I first started going to the Star Trek conventions, I had friends because I had joined the Star Trek fan club, the USS Las Vegas. So my early conventions, like really my first convention that I really full on went cosplay, I went with a friend of mine that I met at the USS Las Vegas.
Yeah.
And I need to share that picture sometime. I have a picture of me and my friend Melissa. We decided to be Orions, which are the green ladies. And so we did a little bit of research, and Melissa was a little more into cosplay than me. So I just trusted her. So she was like, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're going to get some hairspray, some blue and green hairspray. And the blue is going to be the base for the hairspray. I mean, the base for the paint. And then we're going to spray paint green on top. Oh, my gosh. Okay, so we got a room at the Sahara, and the convention was over at what is now the Westgate. And I knock on her door first thing in the morning with, like, champagne. And this girl was 19. So, like, I hope I don't get arrested for contributing to the delinquency of a minor.
Well, I was gonna
But
say
we
minor.
started drinking, okay? And we started spray painting each other. It was bad. It was so bad. We were, like, blue and green splotchy on our body. And then we had, like, this lizard green, like, Gorn oil paint for our face. It was terrible. And by the time we got to the Star Trek convention, we were just too many champagne bottles deep to function.
Well,
But I have a hilarious picture of us. I need to find it.
well, alcohol and spray paint usually don't go very well.
Yeah, they charged us $100 to clean her room
Yikes.
Yeah,
at the
I
Sahara.
bet.
It was a disaster.
Yeah.
Well, you've got a bunch of interesting cosplays that you should share on your show sometime.
We shared a few pictures.
On the first episode, yeah.
You know, and so the Las Vegas has a parade called Hell Dorado, and the Star Trek fan club is going to be representing there, and that is May 11th. Well, I have a photo shoot that evening where I'm going to be in red body paint. And I was like, well, you know, maybe I won't go to the parade, but then I was like, surely there's a Star Trek alien that is red. And would you know, I found a Star Trek alien that is red with blonde hair. Do you know
That's
what?
awesome. No, I have no idea.
It's in a book. So I was like, if we decided to do a book club, Thelonian, I was going to look it up. They're from the planet Thalon. The Thelonians, they are red. The males have no hair and the females have blonde hair that looks just like my hair. It's like literally just slicked back. But then I was like, that's just so obscure that like if I put that on with a Starfleet uniform, people would be like, what are you supposed to be?
A Thelonian, hello.
That's a Thelonian.
Obviously not a true Star Trek fan.
Exactly.
Right? Exactly.
Puff, puff.
Well, I'll shout out my friend Matt from Phoenix. We're both from Arkansas, but he lives in Phoenix now, and we met through the Star Trek convention. And he never does cosplay. And one year he told me, he was like, you know, I'd really like to do cosplay. I'd like to do a cosplay with you, Goldie, but it has to be really obscure. And I'm like, I got it. I got it. I got it. So I don't know if y'all remember the Aquans from Star Trek, the animated series.
Oh, yes.
So I ordered these bright green, like bodysuits. And then I added like fins and stuff, like webbed fingers. And it was...
Oh, you're gonna have to call John Paladin.
Did anybody get it?
We were in the costume contest. So we went to stand in line for the there's prejudging. So we stand in line for the prejudging. It's 150 degrees. It's Las Vegas in August. So it's super hot outside. But you know, there's AC, whatever. But we're completely covered. Oh yay, yeah. Oh okay. So that's the Aquans.
Hilarious.
Yeah. So I used like glitter paint to paint the gills, and I stayed at home on a Friday night to sew those little webbed fingers. And they were like, the judges and the prejudging were like, come on, really? You want us to pass this through? I was like, I stayed at home on a Friday night, and I live in Vegas to do this. So they passed us through. And then Matt had been drinking the night before, and after we got out of the prejudging, he went to the bathroom and he walked out and he handed me the costume. He's like, I can't do this. So then my friend Anthony, who is on the stage, did I give you these pictures? No, I wouldn't. Oh, you're the best. So that's actually Anthony, because he was like, Goldie, what's going on? I was like, well, Matt was supposed to be in the costume contest with me, but he's sick. He's hungover. So Anthony was like, I'll do it. So that's me and Anthony on stage. And Adam, the guy who owns the convention, knew that I was a cosplay girl. And when he saw my name on the list, I could tell he was excited. Yeah. And then when he saw my costume, he was like, what is this? And then Michael Westmore was one of the judges, and he could not stop laughing. And it was kind of like we were up there, and like I was like, what else do you do? So I just started singing, I'm too sexy for my gills. Too sexy for my gills. So sexy. Like, so stupid.
Hilarious.
It was like the worst costumes on the stage, but like such an awesome story. And like, of all of the cosplays that I have ever done, that is the only time I was in the costume contest.
Oh, how funny.
And this hot mess green.
It was the Aquans. And everyone's like, what?
You should have won that one.
Right? That's what I'm saying. It's
Right?
like all the people going, what are you supposed to be? It's like, oh, well, I guess we were separating the real fans from the fake ones.
Exactly. Well, one year they did the Guinness Book of World Record for the most costumed Star Trek fans.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't let me in because I was a Sharonian female. And there were never Sharonian females on the show. And I was like, those are the people that are like half white and half black.
They wouldn't
let me in. And then some people they wouldn't let them in because they were wearing sneakers instead of boots with their uniforms.
Well, I mean,
so they quit doing that.
Are high, right?
I know. And you know, like the Guinness Book of World Record was basically invented for drunk people in bars.
Yeah.
You know, like Guinness is beer.
Yeah.
You know, and they're just like, oh, well, this will be fun in a fun bar game to try to guess the world record for chewing the most pieces of gum or something, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just like they were just so serious about it. So they never did that again.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
So is anybody planning any cosplay for the upcoming Star Trek convention?
I have been threatening to... all right. So before Jonathan. So this is 2019. Frakes is at the Star Trek convention, and he had just gotten hired to start directing some episodes of Picard, I guess,
Probably.
or Discovery, maybe, and he was wearing a suit, but with a T-shirt that said, "Don't ask me, I signed the NDA." So anytime anyone would ask him about his upcoming projects, he would just go. And so the next year, I was going to cosplay as Frakes, wearing that whole ensemble, and see if anyone got it. Then COVID hit. So I still have everything. I have the blue suit. I have the T-shirt, and I think I can fix my hair and beard to where I kind of sort of look like Frakes.
Yeah,
You
totally.
could pull off Frakes.
Yeah.
You can pull it off.
And then hopefully in his panel get to the front, and then just start doing that. You've seen the supercuts of the Beyond Belief.
Mm-hmm.
You ever ridden the bicycle backwards? Have you ever blah blah blah? Have you ever? No, we fooled you. We faked it. It's not true. And just get up there and see if anyone gets that I'm not Riker. I'm Frakes.
Right, right.
Oh my goodness. I think that'll go over a lot of people's head.
It will.
But at least she'll be doing it in something other than a green bodysuit.
That's exactly. So yeah. So when you're talking about this green bodysuit, it's like, who cares if people get it? Though if one person starts laughing, I'm peachy.
Done.
Well,
Yeah.
maybe you should bring back the green bodysuit.
I think
I
so.
still have them.
Yeah.
If you want to do it with me, I still have both
I
of
don't
those
know about
costumes, and I'm pretty sure I washed them. So
Yeah, sounds like it could be a bit sweaty. So.
yeah,
Yeah.
but that was a lot of fun. So maybe I should try the Thelonian
There you
and
go.
be a red person with the blonde hair. They'd be like,
Who are you supposed to be? Well, guess we know who the true Star Trek fans are.
exactly. So anyway, for our next episode, suggestions. Anybody got suggestions?
I say, what are they called? Aquans? I say we do a whole Aquans episode.
Oh, that's one episode. Maybe we do an episode talking about the animated series.
Oh yeah.
Because there's a lot of interesting characters in the animated series, because there were a lot of things that they could do in animation that they couldn't do in the 1960s on a live action TV show.
Right.
So maybe we focus on the aliens in the animated series.
Yeah. Like
And maybe
Mr.
we get some
Eric's-
ideas for
Yeah, Mr. Eric's walking around
with his
third
extra
arm
3 arms.
sticking out the front.
Yep. Yeah, you all have to dress up for that one.
Yeah, we had talked about doing some cosplay. We had talked about trying to get Kirsten and April, who played Andorians at Star Trek The Experience, and then we were just going to have an Andorian panel.
Oh, that would be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we got to talk to Kirsten and them. Did you ever talk to Kirsten?
I did.
Oh, is he down?
I have notes.
Oh, okay.
We'll have a production meeting after the show.
A production meeting. Okay. Well, and I know how to make the antenna. I mean, I know how to make my antenna. So maybe we have a craft segment on that one. Marcus, are you gonna dress up for the Star Trek convention?
Honestly, I'm not sure what days I'll be free for it, so I'm gonna say no. I mean, I've always flirted with the idea, but I don't know. I haven't found a uniform that I really like yet. So
The other idea is I love the next gen movie dress whites.
I mean, that's a nice one.
Oh, well, that's some sewing. You got to
That
really
is-
know how to do that kind of stuff.
Yeah, or find somebody on Etsy or
Right.
eBay that
Yeah.
can
I
do
mean,
it.
Etsy's got tons of them, but I don't know what the quality is.
You know
Exactly.
do you sew?
Oh no.
No. Okay. If you wanted to be Garrett Wong's character in Of Gods and Men, I would be willing to sew you that vest.
What was his? What did he?
It
wear?
was like a shiny green vest with like a gold sash, kind of like Mirror Universe.
Oh, okay.
But you have to wear eyeliner because he had eyeliner.
I mean, if you'll sew the vest, I guess I'll have to wear the eyeliner, right?
That would be
That's-
amazing.
That's part of the deal. Yeah.
That would be amazing.
Your
If
head
you
is
did
your
that, then I
first.
would be what? Oh God, Lita. What's Chase Masterson?
Yeah.
I'll do the Orion character.
Nice.
That
nice.
Chase Masterson
Yeah,
was.
Yeah, that might have to happen now.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Ooh.
Have you ever been to a Star Trek convention?
No.
Have you ever been to a Stargate convention?
No.
Comic Con, anything like that?
Comic Con, yes.
Comic-Con in San Diego?
No.
Or here in Vegas?
Here in Vegas.
Our producer, Aaron, don't you go to those conventions?
Yeah, we usually have the studio there.
Did you do diecast?
We did Diecast, we did Unicon.
Oh, cool.
We did ToyCon. In April.
Nice.
Okay.
Toy-Con is only for buy toys. It's very boring.
What?
It's what?
What?
Yeah, I've been there 1 year and really disappointed.
You just
If you are
don't
not
like-
going
they're
to
not
buy
like
toys,
obscure
you are
toys
not
and stuff?
doing nothing.
What?
Exactly. It's only to buy
What?
toys.
What are these words you're saying?
Yeah, terrible disappointed.
What kind of stuff do you guys buy at the conventions?
Toys.
Yeah.
Toy.
And
Okay,
toys.
there. Like, so.
I have the full Star Wars spaceships
Oh, nice.
collection.
cool.
The whole
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
collection. I have it. And
Oh,
one
you
more-
have it at your house?
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah, yeah. It takes me 5 years to find all the pieces.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh wow,
Yeah.
that's amazing. Well, that's what's good about conventions. I always, what I am looking for when I'm at a convention, if I mean, like obviously, like I need some pips or like a comm badge or something like
Yeah.
that. Those types of things, I definitely, I have like a shopping list of what I'm looking for. But like,
So you don't spend too much money.
Well, yeah, I used to spend a lot of money. I mean, obviously, I have like a Star Trek lunchbox right here and. I have all kinds of stuff. Oh, in fact, so I have a friend who is selling a batlith, a Klingon batlith for
What?
$200.
What?
If you're interested, it's $200 though. How much are they? I don't know.
They're
Are they?
$200 is
Okay.
about the going rate.
A friend of mine he bought me a batlith, so I never had to buy
So
my
is
own.
it like slightly used? Like you kill some.
I think there's
Other-
some Romulan blood or something
there's
on there.
Romulan blood,
Nice.
okay.
Nice.
I mean, that might
If
make
you're
it worth more.
interested,
Yeah.
Smells
I
like
can let them know.
copper.
Yes.
Smells like copper. So the kinds of things that I like to find at the Star Trek conventions are like when you find something really old and the price is so cheap, you're like,
Yeah.
how can I not buy this? So I bought like a Star Trek the Motion Picture themed silly putty. Like it's like an egg,
Yeah, yeah.
and then it's got the Star Trek the Motion Picture backing on it, and it was like $5.
Wow. Yeah, that kind of stuff. Yes.
I love that stuff. I bought a board game which I need to bring to the Star Trek fan club meeting. It's a TOS board game. It looks really old, and it was like $20.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
those-
love finding stuff like that.
Yeah, those kind of things. Those little gems in the rough that it's like, oh, okay, I've seen 5,000 of these. What's this thing? I wonder how much this is.
Yeah.
I will just take this home with me if you'll take this $20
Shut up
bill.
and take
I
my
will.
money.
Yeah.
You know what's crazy? The friends that I am at the convention with are usually like, why would you buy that? Don't buy that. And I'm like, it's a 1970 Star Trek silly putty. Are you crazy? It was $5. Why would I not buy this thing?
Right. It's like it's $5. I'm
It's
going to spend that
ridiculous.
on parking out here.
Yeah, well, I don't know where you're parking for $5, but I need to know.
So, but yeah, the last couple of years, of course, I've been moving, from one place to another. So, the joke is, oh boy, anything I buy is going to go right into storage. So, once I get my own place,
Yeah.
then there will definitely be, holes in the collection that I will be like,
You'd be looking for stuff.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, in terms of I used to do that too all the time, right? Like any convention, be like, oh, this, that, the other. But now I've just forced myself, like, I don't know, like props, like movies, like episode
Real movie
scripts.
props?
Yeah, I've got a couple
Oh,
things.
okay.
Yeah,
Well, you've
so-
always been a baller, so.
No, I wouldn't say that. I'm just irresponsible. But
I've been very irresponsible. I bought a guitar this week.
I mean, well, yeah, exactly. Instruments are expensive, but I mean, stuff like that. Part of the history of Star Trek. That's stuff that I look for. But I do, I have I'm a huge nerd, so I have a soft spot for the spaceships and
Nice.
I've got way too many spaceships. I have my own fleet, so
Wow. I need to see this. I need to see this collection.
yeah, definitely. I'll bring it out one day.
When Deep Space Nine was airing, I remember like just being in awe of the space station. Like every time it was like the opening intro shots of the station, I'd always just be like, "Oh my gosh, look at this station! It's so cool!" Like I just
Yeah.
remember that.
yeah.
And I always thought it would be cool to build one of those models, but I just never did.
Oh, yeah,
It's
yeah.
harder
Go with
than
Lego.
you think. Yeah.
And do you do that? You build models like Star Wars models?
I wish. No, I
No,
don't have the
no.
money. I need to be responsible.
Yeah. Do you though? Do you have to be responsible?
According to the owners of my apartment, yes, I need to be
Oh,
responsible.
I see.
Oh gosh.
Yeah,
He won the money every month.
Yeah,
Well,
you know Darren.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, he went for the subscription where he gets like parts of the Enterprise D.
Yeah,
and
that's
he
how they get
builds
you.
them once a month.
You're not going to
Oh,
not
that's
finish
interesting.
Yeah. It looks great. It's gonna cost them close to $3,000 by the time it's
Oh
all
my
said and
gosh,
done.
that's ridiculous.
Yeah, but you know they trick you because they only charge you like $50 or $100 a month, depending on how many.
Yeah, I
How many
rented
sets
to
do you-
own a saxophone, $1,000 saxophone, and after a while, I was like, "When is this thing going to be paid off?" And I went to the store, and there, I spent $2,000
Yeah.
financing a stack. I'm like, I should have just paid it off immediately.
Yeah, should have just bought the
Should
saxophone.
have just bought the saxophone.
Do you still play that saxophone?
Yes, I play the saxophone at my show, Las Vegas Punk and Rockabilly, which is once a month. You can follow us on Facebook and Instagram. I usually play, if I do a rockabilly set, I'll play the piano, the saxophone, and I have an acoustic rhythm guitar. But sometimes we just do a trio, and I'll just do keys. So we have plugged Las Vegas Punk and Rockabilly. We have plugged Geek Shock. You guys, I just want to remind y'all, I am a realtor in the Las Vegas Valley, and real estate is looking really good right now. So if anybody's interested in real estate, please reach out to me. I'm Goldie Vegas on everything. I also want to plug our amazing podcast producer, Go Live Vegas. He could produce your podcast if you're interested. And he is very centrally located. He does a really great job. We also have sponsorships available if anybody wants their logo somewhere on our screen. Just like that's my real estate group right there. Also, The Nerd is one of our sponsors because they host our watch party. So please check out The Nerd if you are in Las Vegas. Go on down and say hello to them. We are possibly putting together an alien prom at the Nerd July 31st. That is our goal. Hopefully we can sell some tickets. So if you guys are planning a trip to the Star Trek convention, please consider coming to our party. I am a fire dancer, and I was going to see if I could get a fire permit to spin some fire at Neonopolis, painted green like an Orion.
Nice.
And so I thought that would be pretty cool. And then we're going to have a classic rock band to play all of your favorite classic rock bangers.
Yeah, who knows? You might even meet a hot single Aquan there, right?
Yeah, yeah. There you go, a hot single Aquan. So we appreciate y'all tuning into our podcast, and thank you, Francisco,
My
for coming
pleasure.
and teaching us something. My head almost exploded with the knowledge. It was a little overwhelming, but it was also very interesting. So we surely appreciate that, and we appreciate you coming and hanging out with
you for
us.
having me.
Marcus and I have been friends for a really long time. Have y'all met each other before?
Just
you know
at
each
the-
other?
Yeah, at the meeting.
The last
Oh, okay.
meeting
At the last meeting, okay.
Month ago?
That was
2
a
months
month
ago?
ago.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's the USS Las Vegas, the third Wednesday of every month. I will not be there in April, but I'll be there in May, and I'll bring my 1980s Star Trek board game. Maybe we can put a
Show and
thing
tell is
together,
great.
and we will see what we come up with for next month. So thank you for tuning in, and I hope to see y'all at the Nerd or the USS Las Vegas.